you're saying is like sometimes women give us loaded questions. Like,
Yeah,
am I getting fat? Right? Or
yeah, yeah.
what do you think about that girl over there?
Welcome to the Better Man Podcast with Ivan and Sumed. This podcast is all about how to be an optimal, conscious male in today's society. Join Ivan and Sumed as they go deep into the rabbit hole of personal growth, mindset, social dynamics, and spirituality. Are you ready to be a better man?
The affirmation of the day is, I am at peace with the material world.
I am at peace with the material world.
Mm.
Thank you. That's a nice one. I like that
Mm-hmm.
one. Kind of what I wanted to talk about today was, what's the point of relationships?
Yeah.
What's the point of being in a relationship? And if you want a relationship as a man, what do women really want in a long-term relationship? If that's what you're looking for in a long-term relationship.
Mm. What do women want? Have you watched that movie?
No, it's a movie.
There's a movie with Mel Gibson in it, bruh. Like, he gets electrocuted in a bathtub because of a hair dryer, and then he can read women's minds, like what they're thinking. It's so weird, bro. It's really weird. But yeah, what do women want? What do you think?
I think we should really accept that our metric, a masculine metric, is different from the feminine metric.
Okay.
Right?
Mm.
Like we'll be like, I took her out to dinner. That's good points for me, right? But she's not thinking that. She'll probably think like, oh, he was nice to the waiter. That's good points there, right? Oh, he spoke nicely about his friend, right? That's good points. That's good points right there, right?
Right.
He's loving towards his family. Those are good points right there, right? Like
Yeah.
I played
Details.
the long seduction game, right? If there's somebody that I like, or I find them attractive, right? And I want to have a little fun with them. What I do instead of, if I know they're going to be around me, be it through my friend, through my sisters, to bring her friends and things like that, I won't directly make it like about me liking them, right?
Mm.
I'll see my mom. My mom's around them. I'll go and I'll hug my mom, and
Mm.
then I'll go to the room. I'll leave and I'll come back to the same room where everyone's at. And I'll say, hey, is everyone okay? Is everyone doing good? Checking up on every single person, right? Caring about every single person there, right? Fucking leader of men, protector of loved ones. Just tapping into that. Uh,
Mm.
I talk good about. Let's just say, I'll say I was in India, right?
Successful risk taker right there.
Successful risk taker, right? Yeah, successful risk taker. And I'll be like, I was staying with my
Yeah.
friend. I was staying with my friend, right? I'll tell him, yo, actually, I called him up and I was like, yo, what do you think if India would want to go visit me, want me there? And you told me, yo, there's an extra room in my house. And I was like, that's motherfucking destiny, right? So I'm a lucky ass nigga. And then and then I'll start talking good about you, bro, because obviously I like you, obviously I appreciate you, right? And I'll mention good things about you, like this is a smart ass fucking guy, super down to earth, um, and then they could also see like, yo, my friends are really good people too,
Mm.
right?
Yeah, I appreciate that you like sort of. That's why I feel like you unintentionally don't try to be a wingman, but it's like it just happens not naturally because you just talk good about me like I'm one of your good friends, right? So like I remember when I met that German girl, like after you said like this guy's one of the top psychologists in Calcutta or some shit. That's what you said. Like, he's
Mhm.
a top psychologist in Calcutta. Like,
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
should,
We were at that one at that really badass bar, the Sky Bar.
yeah, rooftop. Yeah, Sky Bar, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I felt an instant connection. I never actually ended up connecting with her because she had like food poisoning or something. She had to like go back and like
Uh,
all this stuff. But yeah, like initially, like you just naturally have this ability to like, you know, girls want to know that a guy is safe, right? That he can be trusted,
mhm.
that he's good company, you know, he's not going to do anything weird, right? So just having that, like somebody else say that about you, just makes you automatically like safe in their eyes.
Definitely, definitely. That's
Yeah.
kind of why somebody was asking me why did it our outro were the Lauren who did the outro for us very nicely, very professional. Thanks, Lauren. Shout out you. Everyone go find her on Fiverr. Um,
Mm.
she the reason we did that is because it sounds better for her to say it than for us to say it. If we say it, it sounds almost like a little bit of a brag. If someone else says it, it's got
Yeah.
it's stronger, right? But more specifically, the reason I talk good about my friends is because it's like you are the people that you hang out with, whether you realize it subconsciously or not, right? So their strengths and weaknesses become your strengths and weaknesses by becoming part of a chain together, right? So
Mm.
whoever is your friend and stuff like that, you guys become like links, right? Those are alliances, right? So just imagine like a chain of people, right?
Mm.
Wherever those people's weaknesses are, those become your weaknesses because those are your alliances, right?
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
why me and Sumed, we never struggle telling each other what we need to work on. We tell it,
Yeah.
yo, bro, you need to work on this, you need to do this, right? Because this is my fucking, it's almost like it's me, right? My success is based on his success as well, right? His success is based on my success, right? If I
Yeah.
lose, Sumed loses. If I win, Sumed wins, right? So whenever I'm introducing myself to people or I'm with my friends, I talk good about my friends. And some people might say, "Oh, aren't you like? Don't you think your girl's gonna want to go and be with that other guy?" No, I don't think so. I mean, sure, she'll acknowledge like that this is a that's different. Attraction is different from acknowledging like that somebody is great, somebody is amazing, right? But other people who talk bad about their own friends, that's that's you. That's basically you're basically talking bad about yourself, man.
Mm. Yeah. That's super powerful. So, do you think that relationships nowadays are more about connection than survival? Because we don't need to like hunt deer and like feed it to women, obviously, but you know, but women just do want to feel that connection, the butterflies in the coochie, you know, like
You know, um, the truth. That's a book by the bald guy. You know the bald guy,
Neil
Neil Strauss.
Strauss. Yeah,
Neil Strauss. Have
yeah.
you
Who
read
wrote
it?
it? I haven't read it actually. No, is it
Dude,
good?
even an audiobook, it's like as long as a day. It's like 24 hours long. It's a really, really dense book. Um, and he basically like tried a bunch of crazy things, right? And he even tried. He created his own because you know how they say the book Sex Before Dawn was like all about tribes and shit like that, right? And how we survive good in that, and that's how our brains are made and shit like that. So Neil
Mm-hmm.
Strauss was like, okay, cool, like you know what? I'm gonna go do this. He created a fucking um uh a little village. They bought some land and they had like a variety of couples living there, and it was like couples dating other couples, right? And it was like
Mm.
it was just like that, right? But
Yeah.
he almost ended up getting killed there. Somebody threw an axe at him. They threw the fucking axe at him.
What the? What do you mean they threw an axe at him? Like,
Bro, this guy was just like really pissed off at him and really jealous. And he
mm,
and really he grabbed the fucking axe and he threw it at him, dude. He dodged it. He's alive, but he was like,
Yeah.
this doesn't work. This doesn't work either, right?
Mm.
And Neil Strauss pointed out something really interesting, which was like how we use science to make decisions from our heart,
Mm.
right? So previously, I
Yeah.
wanted to have. I told my girlfriend, "Yo, I want to have 3 girlfriends, and I want to have kids with all these different girlfriends, so that they all like bring me a children with their own specific qualities, and that we can spread the knowledge and wisdom to more kids." And just very
Yeah,
Genghis,
yeah, yeah.
very Genghis Khan like. But
Genghis Khan, yeah, yeah.
now I'm
Type
like,
beat.
I think I only want one. I want multiple kids, but from one woman, right? Um, and and of course, I like to be with other women because that, to me, that's so important. That's actually very important for me as a man to be able to. I don't know. I could say it also brings me a lot of security, right? It brings me a lot of security. It's a benefit to
Mm.
my life. It's definitely not an impediment. It's a benefit to my life to be with other women, right? And every woman
Yeah,
should know that her man is better by being with other women, right?
yeah. Yeah, you also kind of got to know like who's like someone that you can really, really trust, right? Especially in a relationship. Like I was watching the show Vikings, and like this dude who was like the king or whatever, like tested one of his guards, like, you can sleep with my wife, like it's just free to do that. But it was a test, right? To test his loyalty. And he ended up failing the test and getting his head chopped off. But he's testing his loyalty, basically. Like, it's really interesting, like that show. It like brought up a lot of different issues and stuff like that. But yeah, like loyalty is definitely an important aspect of a relation. Like as a man, you want to have certain values. You want to be like sharp
Mhm.
with your personality, because like even as a public speaker, right? You want to have an enemy in mind, because otherwise you're just not going to be interesting, right? You want to know what you stand for, but you also got to know the opposite of that, what you don't stand for.
Yeah, what you stand against.
Against, yeah, totally. And that gives you much more of a sharper personality when you know that. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you're for positivity, you're against negativity,
Negativity, yeah.
right? And if you don't like if you behave positively, right? But then when negativity comes up and you don't stand up against that negativity, you look weak. You look really
Yeah,
weak, right?
it's true. So this question, what do women want? Wait, I feel like when I ask women this question, they all have like stupid answers. Like I asked this one girl, and she was like, all I need is money, food, and sleep." And I was like, "What the? That's really not it." Like,
Because it's
uh,
like it's so difficult for us to get into relationships,
yeah,
right? It's actually a difficult matter.
yeah, because it's related to our survival and replication too, and that's a huge thing, right?
Well, the thing is,
So,
it
most
almost
women
anybody can give you
like,
survival and replication value. You know what I mean? Anyone can give you
mm,
survival. Like, I don't know, girls go up to me all the time and they talk to me and they introduce themselves to me and shit like that. Um, and for me, I'm like, you know, they like you have a badass, you have fucking nice tits, your hair is pretty nice, you have soft skin. Like, these are nice qualities, survival value. I mean, replication value doesn't necessarily mean that I want
yeah,
to replicate with you, right? And a lot of times, even
right.
women will marry men who aren't necessarily rich, right? Like
Yeah.
actually, my mom, she married
I
my
think it's the perceived. I think
yeah,
it's the perceived ambition,
yeah, yeah,
like a musician working towards the band in the future, right? It's still going somewhere.
yeah.
It's not like,
As long as
yeah,
it's going somewhere, as long as it's going somewhere, and she believes in you. She's
totally.
not like she has to trust you so much. She has to really see that you're having an impact, right? Because if she sees that you're half-assing it, oh, it's my. Can you hear me? It says my
Yeah,
internet's.
yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, if she sees that you're half-assing it, well, then you're gonna have to ask her, right? You're half-assing her and and your future children's protection, your future children's safety. How are they gonna get food? How are they like if you can't take care of yourself 100% and you're not going after your life 100%, you won't be able to do that the same for her children, right? And that's
Yeah,
a deeply, deeply important aspect. Deeply, deeply important aspect.
yeah, totally. It's like, would your kids be proud of the you right now? You know, it's like, whoa, that's a big question, right?
Would you want your kids to be like you, exactly like you? And if not,
Right.
the work on the
Change
parts
something. Yeah,
that aren't exactly like that.
totally, man. And also, like, I feel like, yeah, asking a woman what they want is important. She might tell you what she wants. She might tell you in terms of her body language rather than what she actually says. But also, don't let a fish teach you how to fish. You know what I mean?
That's quite good. I like that. I like that. Yeah. So something that has pissed me off is whenever someone says, I've seen relationships do this. My parents used to do this. They don't do it as much anymore.
Mm.
Where my dad would be like, oh, where do you want to go eat? Right. And then there would be like a whole struggle in the car. And eventually it would go up to yelling because there would be no fucking
Oh,
clear direction. Right.
right.
The man was expecting the woman to make the decision.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't force the feminine to make decisions. It's not gonna go well. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
instead, you just gotta say, hey, we're going here. Right? We're going here. Right? Or this is something I like. I say, um, we can go here or we can go here. Where do you want to go? I prefer this. Right? Or we can another level of even doing it is just saying, hey, um, what do you want to eat right now? And she says, I don't know. You could say, I know you don't know. But if you did know, would you choose? Right? So when I go, if you did
I
know,
know you
right?
don't know.
I'm giving her permission to make a mistake. Right? I'm giving her
Right, right,
permission
right.
to make a mistake. Sometimes we just don't want to see wrong. We don't want to be perceived in a different way. And she'll say, well,
Yeah.
I'm craving some juices. I want to go to Juice Land, right? But at the same time, I really like the vegan pizza at the Turtle place, right? Turtle Cafe, right?
Yeah.
And then you'll just say, okay, we're going to Turtle Cafe, right? Because then you get her perspective, right? And then you can make the decision based on her perspective of where to go, right? So know what she
Yeah.
wants, but in the end, make the decision.
Yeah. Right, right, right. Yeah, because if you don't know what she likes, you might just end up. I've made this mistake. I've just gone to like a restaurant, and she's like, "I don't want to eat anything here." Like I've had that before too, where it's like, "Yeah, we're at this place, but I don't like this food or whatever," you know. So it's like at that moment, you're gonna have to be really adaptable, right? It's like when you're getting resistance, then you have to be able to know what to do with that resistance, that feminine resistance energy.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't, it's going to get much worse, right? If you don't handle it or ignore it, completely ignore her, just eat anyway, it's just going to start bubbling up more. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's important to be adaptable in the moment for sure.
And still making the choice though, and
Still
still
making the
like
choice.
like actually, when we went to dinner with your dad, right? Your dad would ask us what we wanted, right? And then
Yeah.
when the waiter would come, he would just tell him what everybody wanted, right? And in a way, like I was kind of surprised that he did that. Like it felt nice that he did that, right? It also felt like it was time efficient.
Yeah. It's going around everyone. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that's the way the leader looks out for the people, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I honestly I thought that was something nice. I thought that was something nice,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. I've noticed also people make a lot of generalized statements like, and that messes people up a lot. Like if you've had a bad experience in relationships, that's not true for all your future relationships, right? All women are crazy, all men are pigs, like all these, generalizing statements that actually becomes a thought form, which forms your experiences. So you got to be aware of that word all. You could say some women are crazy. That's fine, right? But the word all is just defining. It's embedding it into your mind and your subconscious.
Definitely making definitive statements, right?
Yeah.
And actually, that whenever we make definitive statements, that usually leads to arguments, right?
Yeah.
And I think the best way to clarify an argument with a woman is to learn what she is trying to say,
Yeah.
because
Listening. Yeah.
women often, they'll add extra words, they'll add a variety of words, yes, there's mansplaining as well. There's a thing called mansplaining, but there's also woman.
Yeah, we're doing it right now. we're telling what women want.
Yeah.
But it's all good.
Womansplaining is adding extra words, taking too long to get to the point, right?
Oh, is there womansplaining as well?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying right now. There's womansplaining, right?
Oh, okay.
And using incorrect vocabulary to describe things, right? That's the thing. It's a thing called womansplaining for sure.
Dang.
So getting
so
clarity,
it's basically like not getting to the point. It's sort of just like adding much more variety and layers or complexity to it. Because guys will do one thing really well or two things pretty good, but a woman will explore different options and look at all the layers and do you mean like that, or what is womansplaining?
it's kind of like, knowing what you want to say but not being able to say it.
Okay.
Right? Because words are mechanical, right? Words are not fluid, right? Words are within a structure, and structure is masculine, right? Feminine, she just is, right? So she can express herself without even using words, right? But when we force her to use words, she has to tap into her masculine. And sometimes women struggle with this, right? Into explaining what they want with clarity. Because a big problem, women don't take this personal, but a big problem that women have is that they don't say what they want. They just expect it, right? And a lot of times, relationships would be more okay if the woman would just tell the man what she was looking to know, right? Or to do, or to have, right? She's like, why isn't he doing this? Why isn't he doing this? But you're actually not saying that. And then you get into an argument and they yell at you and shit for not doing that. You never.
Why is he not reading my mind like he's supposed to?
the example of my mom. She takes my brother to school at a certain time. I take my brother to school at 8. She wants me to take him at 7:45. I didn't know about 7:45, the 7:45 rule a.m. that until we had an argument about it, about him getting to school on time, right? And that was the whole time. I was literally just trying to get more clarity, and then finding out that there was a specific thing that she wanted me to do that I hadn't even been told. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Women just expect you to be that man, right? Women just expect you to be that man, right? And women, you could help us out by letting us know.
Totally. I think one question that saved me a lot of time, energy, effort is, would you like to vent right now, or would you like me to work on a solution together, right? Because a lot of times women need that venting, right? Yeah. Broke the social matrix. But yeah, so that's a really good question. And also I've noticed that men, when we communicate, we want to get to the bottom of the problem, right? we're like firemen. It's like, go, 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 go. All right, down the pole. Get the water, right? It's just like, let's put the fire out quickly. But for women, it's more like, all right, the fire's burning. Yeah, it's still burning.
But I
Yeah,
want to be the one that extinguishes it. I want to be the one that extinguishes it.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. It's like she wants to figure out a way for her to come up with her own solution. So she's venting to come up with that solution.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Whereas guys feel like we need to fix it right now. And a lot of guys get into this fixer mindset.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of women too, they want to fix men, but it's like, you can't really do that. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know? Like,
You know, very interesting video that we posted the other day on the Better Man Podcast Instagram about men typically finding their value as humans and in their relationship by their ability to help, by the ability to give, by the ability to be useful. Useful is a key word here, right?
Yeah.
Useful. Many uses. Right? Oh, you can't open up that jar? I got you. Oh, you want me to open up that door? Oh, you're coming in? I'll open that door for you. That was useful, right?
Yeah.
And the problem that's happening now is that women, they were hurt, right? They were butthurt. Instead of women being like, yo, we're equal, they instead try to do the opposite of what men were putting them down. Now women are putting men down, right? Which I don't agree with both, right? But what's happening with the woman part is by putting men down and saying we don't need men and we can do everything that men can do, well, they're shooting themselves in the foot, because now they're really destroying men. And they're looking for relationships, but they're not finding relationships. They're not finding men, right? They're able to take care of them because these women they're not holding a place for men to step into their life, right?
Totally.
And that's happened with men too, where men are complaining about getting into a relationship, but they're not opening up themselves to have the woman enter their life.
Yeah, that's true. And I notice a lot of guys, they sort of isolate themselves. They go into their man cave, right? It's like, I need my time to myself to research this problem. Research as in like, you know, like kind of going inwards in a way. But you're just distracting yourself, but it's supposedly helping you process. Like, I don't know, I'll play a video game, but I'll be thinking about my problems as I'm playing. And it'll help me process. Have you ever done that before? Where you like listening to a song or something, or find a way to distract yourself in the pure masculine consciousness, but like it shows up in that sort of, so guys need their cave time. All right, girls. So the more you can do, appreciate his space, which shows him that you trust him, that he can work out this problem by himself. That's really important. So I think trusting is like one of the greatest gifts you can give in a relationship. So if you do need that man cave time or time with your bros, like explain that to her and make sure that there's kind of an adjustment within that time, right? Yeah.
And a lot of times, like if we're opening up to you about something that we're insecure about, don't get angry at us.
Yeah.
Right. Because we're trusting you. We're literally fucking trusting you right now, and you're putting us down as we open up ourselves and make ourselves vulnerable to you.
Yeah.
Right. Well, how the fuck am I gonna want to open up to you again? I'm not. What the fuck? I'm not. So accept men fully. Let's just be fully accepting. Right. It's like a lot of times we like the higher version of our partner, but we don't like the middle self or the lower self, right? Well, you have to acknowledge there's a lower self version of your partner as well, right? And show love for that part of them that they believe that does not deserve love, right? That is how you can be there for
I also think that women really respond well to praise or compliments. Like, it just lights her up, even if it's a silly one. You know what I mean? Like, even if it's just like in the moment, like it's genuine, yeah, for sure. it's important, but sometimes
Genuine,
even like,
genuineness. That's important. What you just said right now.
yeah, genuine. And like, let's say like, okay, let's say that a girl gives really bad head, right? If you tell her that she gives really bad head, she's not gonna give you head anymore, right? So you gotta be like, all right, yeah, you're doing good. Like sometimes you just gotta be reassuring. Reassuring is the word, right? Reassuring, and be able to give her little compliments, positive reinforcement that actually gets her to continue the activities that you really like, right? So, um,
Yeah, yeah.
like even if you don't like some things, highlight the things that you do like. I really like the way you use your lips, for instance, whatever, right?
Or you know, definitely, I kind of get what you're saying. Is like sometimes women give us loaded questions, like,
Yeah,
"Am I getting fat?" Right? Or
yeah, yeah,
"What do you think about that girl over there?" Right?
yeah, totally.
Well, what I actually believe is like, let's just say my girlfriend says, "What do you think about that girl over there?" Right? I have an
Mm,
answer already, right? Which is, if she's an attractive woman, I'll say, no, she's got a very nice body, and her lips are very nice. She looks like she takes care of herself, right? And then I'll bring it back to my girlfriend,
mm.
and then I mention good things about my girlfriend that I like, right?
Mm.
Right?
So
And
that's like pure honesty. Yeah, you're just honest with it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Because a lot of men, they'll be like, I don't know, they might say, "What girl? What girl are you talking about?" Which I would also say is something smooth. Uh, Like you want to show her like, "Oh, you have all my attention right now. I don't see anybody else right now."
Mm. It can work in a certain context, I guess.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, or they might say, "Oh yeah, I don't think she's attractive." Or they might say, "Yeah, she's really attractive." But they won't ever bring it back to their girlfriend and say, "You know what? We know what I love about you the most? I love how you're so caring and kind. I love how you take care of your health. How you're always there for me, right? I I appreciate your beauty when you don't try to be beautiful, right?
Mm.
Always bring it back to your girlfriend. Like that's the reassurance, right? Because even like with me, right? I have to reassure my girlfriend that I do care about her and that I will be there for her no matter what. Even if there's other women who might even be more physically attractive than my girlfriend, right?
Mm.
Or more spiritual, or more fucking pretty, or more fucking healthy, whatever. No matter what, she needs to know that I'm always gonna be there.
Mm.
Doesn't fucking matter. Does not fucking matter.
Right.
If I'm fucking somebody and she tells me she needs me right there, I'm gonna stop fucking this girl and I'm gonna go over there, right? Because my relationship is so much important than the sex.
Mm. Yeah, and also like that certainty, right? So the opposite of certainty would be like anxiety almost, right? It's like you don't know A or B, sort of like in between. That's causing this kind of hesitation. But yeah, when you know exactly what it is, it's like, yeah, you feel this like gravitational pull. That's why I think like having a strong presence as a man, like being the rock, not like Dwayne Johnson, but you know what I mean, like
Actually,
she's the
that's what I thought
tsunami.
you were saying. That's what I thought you were saying.
But like she's a tsunami, right? With all this feminine energy, and you're just able to keep solid, like um
Mm,
throughout that time. Like you're just able to keep that energy and hold it.
mm.
Um,
No matter how crazy she can get, you have to be calm.
yeah,
All right. And
yeah.
what we noticed in my relationship is that since we're both Scorpios, we can't allow ourselves to go crazy when the other one is going crazy. Because if the other one person is going crazy, we have to acknowledge that that's their emotions, that's what's going on inside of them. No matter what, I will still love you. No matter what, I choose to love you, right? And I want you to open up to me. You're angry because there's fear inside of you, right? So I want to just hold space for you.
Mm, yeah.
with
Yeah,
honesty,
man.
with honesty, with honesty. Always honesty over everything, right? That's why this is why I've been telling people like, yo, if you were just honest with your girlfriend about you wanting to be with other women from the beginning, you probably would be with other women right now, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't actually care about that as much as she cares about you being there for her, right? And you being honest about who you are and what the fuck you want.
Yeah, being uncompromising with your goals. That's been a tough one. Like for me, like being uncompromising and being like setting that boundary. Um, but it is very attractive because it shows you like that you're paying attention to the process. Like if you're a guy who's like keeping a to-do list and like you have certain days of the week where you go to the gym and do different like body parts, it's like structure, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that I feel like that shows women that you're not just future based, you're actually committed to the process of doing it daily, right? So I think that's an important aspect. Like once women see that, they'll be much more comfortable around you because they'll see that organization, right? And she won't worry like you're just like a kind of person who's just lays back and let the world happen to them. Instead, you're like a pioneer, like you're going forward and making the world bend to your will, not like the world bending you to its will. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, she's
Being the
attracted to
cause.
strength.
Yeah.
She's attracted to strength, right?
Yeah.
Strength.
Emotionally, physically, spiritually. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All sorts.
Emotionally, yes, yes. Emotionally, spiritually, physically, right? And that includes you being in the spectrum of all of the emotions, right? Sometimes you're in your lows, expressing your lows. Sometimes you're in your high highs, expressing your high highs, right? Like when you laugh, do you do this? Right? Or do you cover up your face? For real, some people cover up their face when they're
Yeah, they
laughing.
do.
That's like, oh, you do that, bro. That's like shyness of like your joy. That's like shyness, holding back
Yeah.
of your joy, right? Or you open with your laughter, right? When you laugh, you touch other people. You're like literally spreading your joy by touching.
Yeah, like you touch them and you get like an electric shock from their laughter.
You're
Like,
sending it.
yeah.
Like
Hold on.
like if someone starts laughing and then they start fucking trying to high five you and shit, like you're gonna get in a good mood.
Yeah, what I call it is like a vibe avalanche. I talk about this in verbal vinyasa, but it's like if I smile, then you smile, then that makes me smile more, and then we end up laughing, right? It's like that. But it can also go in the opposite, right?
I just thought about it and then it made me smile.
Exactly. Exactly. So like it can go in the opposite, right? Like no facial expression, other person even lower than that, even duller, boring, and it's dead. The conversation's done. So vibe avalanche can be work in like the positive or the negative too. Like you can drag someone's vibe down too by
Mhm.
not contributing or
Yeah,
so forth. Yeah.
yeah. Especially when you make them repeat a joke.
Yeah. I didn't quite get that. Yeah.
I do that sometimes whenever someone's like making fun of me. I'll be like, "What? What? Oh yeah, okay, all right." No, but
Yeah.
yeah. Going back to the topic at hand. What do women want?
Man, one thing I've noticed is that like there's definite link between skill and popularity. You notice that? Like someone who's really good at something is just going to be much more popular.
mm,
Like someone who has a passion.
typically, yeah. Passion,
Yeah.
passion. She's looking for passion, right? Because if you can be passionate in your words and your actions, she's gonna subconsciously think this guy's gonna fuck me so good.
Yeah,
This
for
guy's gonna
sure.
fuck me so good, right?
Mhm.
If you tell her a story, right? Women love storytellers, right? Because when you say a story, You get her imagination intrigued. Right? You have to intrigue her imagination. She has to create fantasies in her mind. Right? That's what she wants. She wants to live a fantasy.
I would say like, yeah, that is important, but like don't make the storytelling your crutch, right? Like don't make anything your crutch for that matter. Because like I remember this was one time I sort of like was hanging out with this really cute girl, and I thought the reason I was like acting so badass and nonchalant was because I had an energy drink. And so now every time I felt like going out, I felt like having an energy drink. And it became like a crutch for me. I was like, I'm not gonna do well tonight because I don't have my energy drink, whatever, like my excuse, right? But it was purely me. It was just amplified me. So it wasn't the energy drink, it was the energy.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I mean? So
yeah. What does that have to do with making storytelling your crutch?
like, what I mean is like, if you're a storyteller and you keep telling the same stories to every girl, right? And you get hit with the right points and you understand it, it becomes more like a tool or a routine rather than it genuinely relating to the conversation, right? Like for instance, yeah, it didn't have anything to do with that. Sorry, I just like.
No, but I kind of get what you're saying now, like where you sort of branched it off into conversation and being able to have a fucking conversation with a woman, that is so crucial. Just be a good ass conversationalist. What's happening now? Right? Like the story of what happened to me the other day, right? I made a delivery to this house, right? But as I was pulling up to the house, I saw there was another car. There was a girl going into that car, right? I don't know. She looked kind of hot. I could barely see her, but she looked kind of hot. And then she was still there whenever I was done. Whenever I was walking up to the house, I knocked on her window, right? And then I literally just kept walking to the door. And then she was saying, "What?" And I was like, "Yo, we're both favorite, yeah." And she was like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "Wait, what? I'm a favorite delivery." And I was like, "Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm a favorite delivery too, right?" Like, and by basically saying that I'm actually at the same time saying like we're the same. You and I are the same, right? And then while I was waiting for the door to open, I was sort of having like a conversation with her from like 20 feet away, for her window, right, from where I'm at. And then I was like, hold up, I'm calling this person. Call the person. I'll make her wait. I comes, gets the food, and I go back to the car, and I'm talking to her, right? And I'm just talking to her, right? And the more I'm talking to her, the more intrigued she is. She starts asking me questions like, what do you think about me, right? Why are you talking to me, right? And I'm just like dodging them. And at one point, I said, I think I was talking about making movies. And she was like, my friends have been talking about wanting to be in movies. And I was like, they can be in it if they think that if they're cute, right? And then she was like, what about me? Do you think I'm cute? And I was like, well, I think what really depends is what do you think about yourself, right?
Nice. Yeah.
Right? Because, I mean, that's what's actually more important to me, right? With somebody, of course, yeah, I do like pretty girls, like, of course, right? But it's more important to me, even a pretty girl who doesn't see herself as pretty, that's a fucking problem. That's a fucking major problem for me, right? So I had to make sure, like, right? And then eventually, like, I ended up doing like Reiki on her, right? Which was cool. She was really calm. She was like, "Can you be my yoga teacher?" And I was like, "I can be your life teacher." And I sort of became very like fatherly towards her, right? And she was looking at me with so much like appreciation, like just like with like loving eyes. And then she gave me a hug, right? She got out her car, she gave me a hug. She got back into her car. Before she goes into her car, she gives me a kiss on the cheek. I told her, give me a kiss give me a real kiss, right? And then at that point, actually, I low-key got nervous because it just sort of seemed super random, and I was like, oh shit, right? It was
Yeah,
really random. It was really random even for me. And then we kissed each other, right? It wasn't like a crazy passionate kiss. It was just like a little, I didn't want to give her like a crazy deep kiss because that's not how I
yeah.
felt. I wanted to give her like the way parents kiss their kids on the lips. Have you seen that?
Hmm. Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do. So that's kind of what I did, right? Um, and the whole time I'm respecting her boundaries. I'm not pushing it too far, right? But it was through the fact that the conversation,
Mm.
having like just being able to talk normal, that led to the conversation leading to a not so normal place.
Yeah, yeah. No, I really like that, like what you said. I think that that's like a lot of guys would be like, "Oh yeah, you're cute." You know what I mean? Like they would have just answered like based on what is expected in that moment. Like, but you sort of were really like you took in that question, you analyzed your values from it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You brought out your values like and then you made a choice to say like, yeah, I think it's like better if you like what you think about yourself, your own cuteness, right? So that, yeah, that's really important. Yeah, guys, take notes. That was awesome, man.
Yeah, and something that I just realized based on your analysis of me
Mm,
was that women are looking to take on better values. She
yeah.
wants a man with better values, not just her direct values, but with better values, right?
Yes,
Because
that's awesome.
that's what she knows, that that's the way her life is going to get better. If she has better values, her life would get better, right? For all the fucking people who are acting like losers and are dead broke and are fucking just no relationships, if you took on my values and my value system, your life would completely improve.
Yeah, the principles, right?
Hmm.
That you like some people have like a code, right? Like back in the day there used to be
Everyone
like
has a code.
honor.
Everyone has a code, bro. Everyone.
That's true. Everyone does have a code, but sometimes a person's code can be unconscious to them as well. So, yeah, make it conscious. Like if you have certain bugs in your relationship code, you're not going to have a good relationship, right? Because you're always going to associate it from that pain body or that code.
My
But yeah,
girl.
one thing that I was thinking is like, yeah, connection over attachment. Fuck all this like twin flame, soulmates, all this thing. There's more than one soulmate. You can be a twin. You can be twin oceans. You don't need to be flames necessarily. You know, that's what I think. Um, and also like all this conscious relationship talk, right? We talk about like red flags. What about the green flags, bro? Like, where are the green flags?
Where the green flags, the way that you react to somebody, to your other person's family, that is,
Right.
I think that's a green flag, depending on how they do it,
Yeah,
right?
like a person who's willing to be vulnerable and not like, to work on their own inner healing and their inner wounds and not bring it up with each other all the time, like being
Mhm.
this kind of mirror back and forth.
Like, like you being okay around their family and her family liking you, but if their family
Yeah.
step the bounds, you being able to say, hey, that's not okay, right? Or like the other day, my I was on the phone, and my girlfriend, she had me on speaker. Her mom's boyfriend, her sister's boyfriend are in the room with her, and
Mm,
everyone's literally listening to me, right?
mm,
So like I turn on, I was just planning to have a chill conversation. So I understand that everyone's listening to me, but I'm
mm.
still having a conversation directly with my girlfriend, right? Acknowledging everybody in the room at the same time, right? Um, and then eventually, I think my girlfriend at one point was talking about her sister sneezing on her, and I was like, "Yo, quit." There we go.
Alrighty.
Uh,
Yes, I think we left it at like stop. You said stop sneezing on me, or what was
yeah.
that?
So while I was on the phone, while I was on speaker, I told her sister, "Hey, stop sneezing on my girlfriend." Right? Like, and it was like semi playful, but very direct and with like a loud masculine voice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because whether you're her fucking sister or her fucking best friend, whoever the fuck you are, don't fucking sneeze on my girlfriend. Get your fucking sick ass, disgusting germs away from her, right? That's just how I thought about it. I was like, hell no. I was like, hell
Yeah.
no. You're not gonna fucking sneeze on my girlfriend right now, because that's fucking disgusting, right?
Yeah.
That's my value. My value is health,
Values.
right?
Yeah.
So I stepped into that value.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When you think of like an ideal guy, like a trope, who do you think of immediately? Like,
Of an ideal guy,
yeah, like in TV or in movies or whatever. Like, who comes up for you in terms of like
TVs and movies. I guess a lot of people would say that James Bond. But
James Bond? Yeah.
personally, I would see myself as the ideal guy. Not even trying to be cocky or anything, but I know like what I do for women, and I know my job is to help women specifically, right? That's why I feel like I'm like I behave fatherly around women, and
Father Ivan.
I mean, yeah, women are when they're looking for another man, they're looking for a man to replace her father,
Father. Yeah, that's true.
right? And I don't necessarily want to be everybody's boyfriend, right? But I
Yeah.
do want to be. I do see myself as a father to all these women, right?
Yeah.
Who are
And
looking
it
for
and it honestly it does depend on who her father was as well. Like if she's more drawn to her father, if she's like a daddy's girl or like a mommy's girl, like it depends, right? It differs. So girls who are more drawn to their fathers, you just have to listen to them more because they're going to be um
Mm.
like
The other
yeah, you have
video was talking about this, right?
right, yeah. And for girls who are more with their mothers, like you have to take more of a like you have to do the talking, you have to make the conversation happen and guide it. Yeah,
Really?
I think so.
It sounds like it would be opposite for me.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
yeah, it depends on the parent, I guess, as well. I think it definitely depends on the parent. That's what I was saying. Like some people have dads who are more in their feminine, right, as well. So it doesn't really work in that context, I guess.
Hmm. Yeah, I think it's just be in the moment with that person. If you think that person needs to be listened to, listen to them. If you need to do the talking, do the talking. I personally think that sometimes, if you want somebody else to open up with you, you have to open up first. You have to make yourself vulnerable first, right? Anytime I'm fucking up in my relationship, anytime no, it's more like anytime I'm fucking up as myself, my relationship doesn't grow.
Yeah, yeah, for
If
sure.
I close up, my girlfriend starts to close up, right?
Yeah. Again, it's a vibe avalanche.
Yeah,
Close
it's a
up, she goes up. Goes. Yeah,
vibe avalanche. I like that, dude.
yeah.
Hashtag, yo, everybody, take a screenshot of the podcast and tag us on motherfucking Instagram. We're on Facebook now. On YouTube, do the screenshot, do the Instagram thing. Share this with somebody. If you want to change somebody's fucking life, share this. You could save somebody's fucking life. Somebody might be going suicidal because they're struggling so much and super stressed because they're not managing their relationships properly.
Yeah,
You need to listen to this
so
podcast. You
true.
need to listen to this.
I mean, look at what happened with Romeo and Juliet, bro. But yeah, I like the example of like wait the James Bond, right? Let's take him as an example. I think it's great because he's so non-reactive, right? He's like whatever happens, he's sort of like cool, calm, and collected. He's not like nervous, like fidgeting with like a martini glass in his hand is like shaking, and he's like, "Hey there, guys, the name's Bond," you know, like he's very calm, very composed,
Mm.
right? So his actions match his personality, right?
Mm.
So his sounds, his body sensations, his what's another one? Images that he's creating in his mind.
Mm-hmm.
I am Bond,
Mm-hmm.
James Bond.
Mm-hmm.
That's an image.
Mm-hmm.
And he's able to brand himself throughout the conversation. It's like keeping to his brand.
Yeah, he
Loyalty.
when thoughts, words, and actions are the same.
Yeah. For sure. That's attractive, I think. Even in a woman, like that's attractive, bro. Like
Yeah. If she's talking about health, but she don't eat healthy or go to the
yeah, bro.
it,
It's like what? But you had like cupcakes.
I mean, I like
Right.
cupcakes too, but
Oh yeah, for sure. Just make sure they're vegan cupcakes. I'm just like
one thing I wanted to like specify was when it comes to James Bond is he's still an archetype,
yeah.
right? And sometimes an archetype is just an aspect of a being. You want to be the embodiment of many archetypes.
Yeah.
Right? Because for me, I mean, James Bond doesn't party like me.
Word. Yeah, I know what you mean. You don't want to try
James
to
Bond
be.
is not gonna hit the
Just learn
fucking
from
dance
him.
floor doing. He's not gonna do the fucking splits on the dance floor. You know what I
Definitely
mean?
not.
But I fucking will, right? So if you're the person that likes to do that, then do that by all means, right? But do at times the embodiment of the fucking stoic James Bond who is unreactive in the craziness. He's at peace within the craziness.
Yeah. Calm at the center of the storm kind of type beat. Calm at the center of the storm type beat. I like that. But yeah, what do you think guys want? I feel like guys just want like
Yeah,
very
okay.
few.
I think that's a very good question. And we were talking about this before we started shooting when it came to me choosing a relationship, which
Yeah.
we worked through the chakra system of all these different things, right? And at the bottom, it's all about
Oh yeah.
survival,
Yeah.
right? And of course, let's stick to let's just merge the bottom two, the sacral and the
Root,
root,
yeah.
for simplicity.
Yeah, because water and fire, you know, so it's like opposing, but it's still together. Like, they balance each other out. Too much fire, too much water, it's like chaos.
And sex, well, you can connect both of these together with survival and replication, right?
Yeah.
One of them means safety, right? The bottom one means safety, right?
Yeah.
First, you have to feel safe around this girl, right? You have to feel safe around this girl, right?
Yeah.
But if she's attractive and she's nice and she's kind of, it's generally not difficult to feel safe around a girl, right? It's actually much more difficult to feel safer around men, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, let's just say so for men, all right, you're comfortable with her, right? Do you find her attractive, right? That's a level of it, right? That's a specific level of it, right? But see, I won't just have sex with anyone or be in a relationship with someone just because I find them attractive and I feel safe around them, right? So we go into the navel chakra, and for me, this is about trusting yourself, right?
Yeah.
Trusting the other person, and yes, confidence. How do you feel when you're around this person? Do they elevate your sense of beingness, right? Do they feel more confident? Do you trust them? Do you trust them to open up to them, right?
Yeah.
Opening up your what? Next level. We're going to the fourth chakra, your heart.
Heart, yeah.
Can you love them? Can you love them so deeply? Can you love them so deeply? Right?
Yeah, and when we're not confident, we also constrict ourselves, right? So we block the solar plexus technically. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then the heart. Yeah.
Can you talk to them? Can you talk to them about anything? Can you talk to them about fucking anything? And when I say anything, I say nothing is off the table here. Right? And then third eye. For me, this has to do with purpose, vision of the future,
intuition as well. Yeah.
do you have a great vision of the future with this person? Do they have a similar purpose as you with this person? Right? And then the top one, it's like holiness level. How holy are they? Right? How holy? And when I say holy, what is their negative and what is their positive?
Are they soul candy? Yeah.
Not exactly they're good and bad, but what is their positive and negative, their masculine and feminine, because that's what whole is, right? And obviously that's the thing though. We can feel like this about many people, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to relationships, I think they have to do with like living in the third dimension, right? And they're kind of a little bit like alliances, right? In the sense that we're here to help each other out, and my purpose is to help your purpose, help your purpose, help my purpose, and then
growth and support for sure. Yeah, like you said once, it's not about like the chemistry, right? Not only the chemistry, it's about the support and the growth as well. Yeah.
Support the growth and having kids, man. Like having kids is important for the continuing of our species, for the continuing of our knowledge and spreading who we are. Like when I'm dead, who's gonna speak about the things that I spoke about?
Yeah, lineage is super key. I think lineage is a huge part of relationships, I think, or at least understanding it. There's a lot of like bad karma in the line of certain relationships, which you gotta break. It's up to you to break that shit, you know? Like change the whole pattern around. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is an awesome episode. Delved quite deep into it.
What time did we even start? Oh, it's 10? Bro, what the fuck? Hold on. What time did I send you this message? At 8:53, you said, ready when you are. I'm sitting in link now. Bro, talking since. Oh, it's about done.
Yeah. It's good to wrap up now, I think.
Yeah, it's good to wrap up. Wrap your willy.
Wrap your willies. Guys, if you want to find us, you know where to go already. If you're already watching, you know.
Command respect. Learn to set boundaries using consciousness, psychology, and the law of attraction. Go and get that book. Change it.
Imagination. Unleash your creative wizardry. Bruh, that was awesome. You like leaned into the mic.
I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna go to the gym.
All right.
It's pretty early for me.
Bro.
Hey.
Yeah. Dominate the day. Peace, brother.
Hey, love you, man.
Love you too, man.
If you would like to contact Sumed for peak performance coaching, go to @FlowZone Academy on Instagram. That's FLOZONE Academy. If you would like to connect to your higher self, contact Ivan at odd.resilience. That's ODD.resilience. Also, make sure you follow the Better Man podcast on Instagram. See you next time.